There is a wonderful quote from Alan Watts that the muddy water is best clean when left alone. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can actually apply this perspective on the healing deep wounds, but also processing emotions in our own bodies. So let's say this is us. And this is the muddy water. The big issue, what I perceive in our own lives, is that we identify with everything that is present in our own bodies. All the emotional states, thoughts, deep wounds, like everything. And we believe that it's us then when we experience that. And that means is that we are constantly in the muddy water. So the first step is we have to learn how to stop identifying with what is present. And that means, as you know, like when there is a gardener and the gardener wants to plant to be grown, like the flower to blossom, what the garden is going to do is not going to, interfere with that constantly. It's going to create a space for it, create environment for it to grow. And this is something that we have to learn how to apply for ourselves too. So from the egg therapy, there is wonderful exercise that you can try right now with me. Is that, let's say there is anger, or let's say we feel ugly. There is the first thing that is called diffusion, is that we have to learn how to diffuse from it. And that means is that we're gonna step back from the muddy water. So what we're gonna do is that there is exercise when I'm going to say, I am ugly. I'm ugly. But now I'm going to say, you can try for yourself to say, I'm ugly. Then you're gonna say, I think I'm ugly. And then we're gonna go even further. I noticed, then I'm thinking that I'm ugly. That as you can maybe perceive that you're creating this kind of space between that. Now you can do it with most of the stuff in our own bodies, because I never say is that I am this body. I say in my body. I have the body. And it is that I'm not I'm with that, but it's not it's vehicle, right? That I control it. I'm the consciousness in it. So that's something that is very important to realize. And now let's say that we're gonna work right now with the anger. I'm going to show you. This took me such a long time to understand, because I was always, when I was angry in past, I was trying to get rid of it, box it out, those videos that you tap on the chest, that never helped, or pushing the kind of the wall, that never helps too. And I'm then I went screaming to forest, singing to, cursing in forest, nothing helped. Then I was so frustrated that I was so many videos, nothing was helping. I was reading the books, and I just sat down and I'm I have enough. And I started just breathing. And what happened is that I stopped interfering with the muddy water, and the anger started to be processed by its own. And I couldn't figure it why was that happening? Is that I didn't interfere with that. I stopped caring, then the angeriness was present, and it started process. And I'm aha, that's interesting, right? So what actually was happening is that I'm going to picture it here. I will try to explain the best to my ability. So this is also, again, this is us, but we are a little bit bigger. And let's say there is angeriness, right? And let's say this blue is your consciousness. This is consciousness. And you're right now with that. So you and the angeriness is one. That means it's hard to kind of release and process. But what needs to happen is that you have to decide is that this is the angriness that you feel, and this is you, right? Then you kind of step back from it, and you start regularly breathing through the nose to the stomach, and kind of bringing relaxation to the body, and perceiving that, oh, right now there is in my body anger. Anger is in my body right now. I feel the anger. Many times we're not going to dive further. It's there is anger, but there could be underlying stuff also, why we are angry. That someone is going against our own, for example, I don't know, boundaries or things like that. It's completely different topic. Right now, just we're taking care of the anger itself and those kind of states. And you can apply this for sadness, for everything. Is it okay? I perceive there is anger in me, and I'm not trying to run away from it. It's maybe I try to shake, but I bring the relaxations to it. Does it make sense? Is that actually means is that I'm creating environment for it to be processed. And you, on some level, provide compassion, kindness, love for the state. And the state is going to take care of it by itself. I know maybe it sounds insane, but it's you test it out. and see for yourself if it's true, because for me at least it works. And when I work with people and they want to like take care of stuff, I treat them this way, is that, you know, it's like you can actually release this way, that you're going to stop interfering with that, that you just like bring constant freedom to whatever is present. How the kind of like the monk just wrote it in the book, you know, if you know how to suffer, you are not going to suffer much. And many times, for example, when this, it can be also applied for the sadness. So let's go with the sadness. I didn't have to like take care of him, but you know, like let's, again, sadness is also wonderful. So this is sadness and this is you, right? Right now, you create stories about the sadness. You're like, oh my God, they shouldn't have lived, and like heartbreak or like things like that. You know, why it happened to me, and you're like reinforcing. But in the moment when you drop the story, then there is just like present state. And if you're trying to like, don't push it down with like addiction, social media, alcohol, smoking, something, and you actually learn how to stay with that, then you as a consciousness first kind of like, you realize there is a sadness in the body, you become here, and you provide this like big wonderful hug. You know, this is like you, and you're kind of like hugging it and giving it love. That's something that you actually provide for the sadness, the compassion, the kindness, the love, the freedom for it, the safe space. And maybe because it's free and you let it become free, then what happens is that it can like start to do stuff. It can start to like, you're gonna start crying, shivering, shaking. And many times, like with the crying, you just like cry it out more and more and more, until then there is not that state anymore, because it's been processed. Now, what has been happening in our own society is that we focus on right now too much like work and work and work, and whatever states become present for them to be processed and released and provide care, what we do, we push it down more. And then we have like more issues in our own lives. We have more mental health issues. We have more kind of like the body issues, because we push everything down and nothing's being really processed. And that's the issue. So this is something that I want to like record on, and I hope this video is beneficial, that at least someone is going to be helpful. So what needs to be done again, you provide love, care, freedom, understanding for the muddy water, and then it's going to start being processed. You don't have to do anything else. But it's a whole magic on how to do it, because, oh my God, now comes like the next step, is like, what if you don't have enough power as the consciousness for it to be processed? That's like, because for this to be done, you need to have self-realization and enough kind of like the energy for be able to hold the sadness. So then, for example, we need kind of like help. We need like nature. We need someone to hold the space for us, like a practitioner, therapist, or you're going to go to men's group, women's group. You're going to go to holotropic breathing, to kind of like certain things to get kind of like more power back to you. That, for example, for us to be able to regulate more stuff in the body, we need to be more regulated as a consciousness, more healed. Because like if we are very much wounded, we are not even aware that we are this. Like there is just like kind of like this black box or something, and someone just like need to help us figure it out first, or we have to decide that we're gonna seek it. But it's like, this is the journey by itself. But in the moment when you are in this state that you understand the quote, this is the next process on how to actually process it. So hope this video provided you value, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day, and goodbye.